I wake up in the morning, I punch fear in the face. I gotta get to my back and egg and dreams. I wake up in the morning, I punch fear in the face. I gotta get to my back and egg and dreams. Welcome to Back and Egg and Dreams. I'm your host, Bernie Wine. Welcome to another episode. Today I got a very special guest. My brother, content creator, George Cruz. Introduce yourself for the people.
George Cruz, content creator, Liddy Connoisseur, etc., etc. And that's at GE0RGECREWS. The O is a zero because there's other George like me. No relation to Terry Crews.
So, a few years back, for y'all who don't know, I was on his podcast, The Idiosyncratic Guy. And this is how I got started with my podcast. So, the word idiosyncratic, it means the unusual from what I got. But why did you start off with that title, and how does that define you?
So the origin of that, I was giving this guy some information. He was like, yo, yeah, and ideas and stuff. He was like, yo, that's elusive. So I didn't know what elusive meant at the time, so I looked it up. And I was like, yo, this is dope. So what I do is when I find like words I like, I look up the synonym. And I saw idiosyncratic. I'm like, yo, that's kind of different. So I saw that, looked at the definition. I was like, yo, that is me. So I ran with that. It's so crazy because people think I made that word. I'm like, that's a real word. Like, legit. I didn't make that up. Idiosyncratic is a real word. Yeah.
And so what are you up to right now in your business adventures?
So I am a former podcast. I quit my podcasting in November. I made the decision to transfer over to doing docuseries and stuff like that. I plan on still conversing with people, but just not on a podcast platform. I explained in my last episode. I feel like the podcast getting kind of got tainted in a way. So I was like, you know, it was always a vessel anyway. I always say like my podcast was a vessel. It connected me with people. It get me from A to B, and that's what it did. So I am going to be creating docuseries and stuff. Is in the works. A lot of things such as businesses. I'm getting into media. Yeeshao Productions pulling up sooner than later. Yeah, so in the meantime, I'm behind the scenes helping people, whether it's like photography, videography. Some people need my advice doing like podcasts and stuff, because that's always been a thing. Like everybody who wants to start, they hit me up what to do and stuff, so I'm giving them the gems that I know.
And since I've known you, you've been a confident person. Was there ever a time where you wasn't confident, and how'd you overcome that?
Was I not confident? Nah, I'm gonna say no for now. I don't want to seem like a liar. Be like, yeah, it was. No, I've always walked in it. Was I sure? Not exactly. Like, you know, everything's gonna be new to you at some time. So I always had that confidence. Like, yo, I'm gonna do it because I'm not afraid to take an L. I'll take an L, I get back up. Like, because I've never taken an L and stayed down. And I've hit rock bottom. So, no, that confidence always been there. Just like, yo, listen, you got to do it. Like, because people can see it and they can sense it. So, me personally, if I see that you're not confident in what you want to do, then it's like, how can I take you serious? Like, you got to at least be confident in yourself for me to be having in you. Because then if I'm the one like, yo, I'm big you up, like, yo, you can do it. But that confidence lack on your side, it's going to be like, you know, all right, this must be like a hoop dream. And why am I investing in myself?
So if success had ingredients, what would you give it?
Success is different for me. Success is happiness first and foremost, especially dealing with like mental health and everything. So being happy is number one with me, and in regards to that, money makes me happy. I need money need me, so that's definitely correlating that. But do I feel like money equal happiness? Is like I said, that's to me. It does. It helped me get to where I want to go. Money is a vessel, so that's with me. Success is happiness because I want to achieve things. And my success can do that. It'll provide opportunities for other people. I love helping people from the ground up. So that's what success to me. Success is pure happiness.
And what's the importance of helping people from the ground up?
Well, a lot of times, and I say even for myself, for example, when I started the podcast, I had to do my own research. I didn't have anybody I could hit up, talk to, and this and that. And it really disappoint me when there's people who like gatekeepers and all that who like shun people out, and it's like I'm the type of person that's like, if I get in the door, I'm gonna help you get in that same door. Like, I want us all to win. I'm not that type of person that's like, all right, well, I had to learn it, so you gotta learn. No, I don't want you to do the struggling. Like, you're gonna go through your own struggles. I don't want to enhance that. Like, that's not my personality at all. Like, I don't believe in kicking somebody when they down. So I'm definitely making opportunities, helping people get there. Like, and with people that's coming up, you know, a lot of people have great talent. They're just not known. Like, that's why I don't judge people based on how many followers they got, a song based on how many plays they got. Like, there's some really great underground talent, but they just don't have that platform or that person that can help them get to the next up. So that's what I want to be.
And for the person afraid to start something, what advice would you give them?
Start that shit. That's it. Like, yo, start. Like, yo, it's all trials and tribulations. Like, if you listen to my first episode of my podcast and then the last one, you will hear a great difference. I did 130 episodes. My first, I'll say like my first 10 compared to my last 10 is way different. You're always going to start somewhere. It's always going to look weird. It's always going to sound weird. It's like you keep going. You learn from it. Like, and I had to learn as I went because, like, you know, things was evolving. I was evolving. I started with just my, I had a mic in my iPhone and I recorded like that. Then I got a camera. My very first episode of my podcast, I recorded in my car. Like, I didn't have no studio. I just recorded just me in my car talking in the mic at like, this is like 10 at night and sitting in my driver's seat and everything. That's what I'm saying. It went from that to me renting out studio space or, you know, game rooms and stuff, recording and all that crap, being on YouTube and all that. So it's a process. So just go with what you got for now. As you go on, you'll learn it.
And what's the importance of starting with what you have right now? Because there's a lot of people that would have said, man, I don't got a mic, I don't got a camera, I don't have the resource.
Well, whatever venture you have, well, if you don't have it, you have to get something. So you got to start with something, you got to get it. So, like, even with me doing docuseries, my camera got lost in Mexico. So I gotta buy a new camera. So until then, I'm gonna use my iPhone, and you know, because iPhones got great cameras anyway. So, boom, I can use that. Until I buy new cameras and stuff, I use the iPhone. I have some Rode mics. So this is what I got now. I can create this stuff. So it's like me. I'm in the planning mode. I'm writing down ideas and stuff. So like I said, even somebody like me who have experience in this stuff, but still got to start over. It's like, yo, just go with what you got. Like, you like content creators and creatives in general, we go with what we got. Like, it's like, yo, listen, like, if you look at every big name viral thing, you ask them what they started with, it's gonna be like minimum stuff. It's always gonna be minimum first. So trust me, go with it.
And what do you think is the sole reason people don't start at all?
It can be fair. It can be fair. We live in a world where going viral is like the new success. So people might think, oh, I gotta do it like this, do it like that, and they get fear because it's like, if it don't sound like this and that, they're like, all right, cool. That's one thing. The other thing is they don't really want to do it, but it's kind of like it's trending right now. So I'll say, for example, let's say I'm like, oh, I want to rap because I see everybody rapping now. I'm not really good, so let me fall back and this and that. Like, you gotta really want it. So that's the biggest thing, is the fear of it, of trying to look like something. But if it's genuine, just go for it.
And do you believe you should be passionate about what you do?
Hell yeah, you got it. If there's no, personally speaking, if I'm not passionate about something or someone, I'm not dealing with it. Like, I gotta really be into it, because I'm not just gonna be like, all right, cool. I'm not like one of those high-end businessmen where I'll just slap my name on something. It's like, whatever, sink or ship is whatever. Yeah. Me, anything my name's attached to, it gotta be dope. I gotta see the passion you really want to do. I'm gonna ask you why you want to do it. Okay, what steps did you make? Like, even if we partner up, if I feel like I'm the only one that's doing it, then what's the point of you being here? You're not passionate about it like me, because I'm going to even networking events, meeting these people, talking about it, promoting it, all that stuff. Meanwhile, you just on the side doing nothing. Like, you lack the passion, you lack work ethics. It's like, so what are you here for? Like, you gotta have that.
So just hearing you speak, you go into these events, and it seems like you're a continuous learner along your journey. Why must you continue to keep learning?
I mean, there's no limit. There's no limit. There's no such thing as I learned everything in the world. There's no such thing. I'm sure if Einstein was alive, he would still say he got more to learn. Especially in this day and age, if the technology grew and everything, he would still have to learn. You always got to still learn stuff. Even with my knowledge of media and all this stuff, I still don't know everything. So because even just the people I interact with, they bring something different. Last night, I went to an art event, talking with a photographer, and I was taking pictures and videos, and he was like, "Man, you really good at this stuff." Like, and now he's a photographer, he's professional, but he's me taking pictures on an iPhone. He's like, "Man, you good? You got good eye, this and that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just learning with what I got." You know what I mean? But I'm not a photographer. That's what I'm saying. You got to keep learning this stuff. But photography, videography, that is in my field with me going into production. I gotta learn this stuff, so it's like I may be in the front, but I still gotta learn the behind the scenes stuff. So that's where like I'm gonna keep learning everything. I'm gonna do my research, my homework, freaking whether it's books, I will Google search to the 20th page.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn that shit.
And what would you say? Like, what's a life lesson that you bring into business with you every day?
A life lesson. That's a good question. A life lesson I bring into business. Always stay humble. Always stay humble. I am grateful for how, and I will say, you know what? No, I won't. Cause I was about to circle back and say maybe this is where I wasn't confident, but no, I still have the confidence. But I sometimes get so caught up on where I'm at, and I don't think about like how far I came. So I'll be like, man, I'm here, and I want to be here, but oh man, I be forgetting like, yo, I came a long way. It's like if we're in a building with 20 floors. I'm walking up, the elevator broke, I'm walking up the stairs, I'm on the 10th floor. I could give up, be like, all right, let me go back there. But it's like, no, I'm already 10 floors up, let me go 10 more. So that's what I'm saying. And like I said, be humble first and foremost. Like, anything can be taken from you. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've hit rock bottom before. I know how I feel to have doors closed on you. I know how I feel to have no support or anything like that. So I always remain humble. I don't, no cockiness in me. I will bang my chest, like I'm confident, but I won't put nobody down in the process. Unless you're in my way, then I'm gonna knock you down. But other than that, like stay humble. That's my life lesson. Just stay humble always, because it can be taken at any moment.
And you talked about being on the 10th floor when you didn't realize how far you came. What's the importance of celebrating maybe the smaller victories on the road to your bigger victory?
Always pat yourself on the back. And I'm saying that as somebody who's currently just doing that. Like, I had for example, last year I was in Trap Art magazine, the May edition. I won in first place for the docuseries in Paris. Just like even those things alone right there, I met a couple of celebs that I chopped it up with, Angie Martinez, LL Cool J, just talking to them about longevity and stuff. Andy Cohen, and it's like, it's okay to pat yourself on the back. Like, yo, you came this far. You have these connections and stuff. You have these sources and stuff. You made this happen. Like, especially when you've done it by yourself. Because I've been independent for the most part, like pretty much 95% of the time. I don't really get help. So it's okay to like, yo, you did this. Just keep going.
And so you're a content creator. So what we may see, to you, it might have been hours of work behind the scenes. Like what does the behind the scenes, what we don't see, look like?
Oh man, the networking is type easy to me because I'm the lady connoisseur. I go out partying and stuff, so that's like I'm an ambivert. Like I'm introvert and extrovert together. So I don't mind like walking up to somebody and talking, but that can be rough because, like I said, I'm humble. I come with good energy, but that person might, be like, all right, well, why should I work with you and all that? And that can kind of scare certain people. So that's what I do with that. In regards to like getting business done, like even when I was doing my podcast, the editing, the coming up with the ideas and stuff, asking the questions was none because I do things off the top. But like just all of that, to make sure the episode drop at a certain time, with the docuseries, making sure the camera good, the angle good, the lighting good, the subject there good, making sure that we stay on topic, making sure we're in the right time frame, because when you talking, time just go by. Like all of this come into play. The prices of the mics, the cameras, the small mics, the lighting. Like if you got a backdrop, the backdrop, all of this stuff costs. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't understand, it's a lot to this.
And what allowed you to keep going when you may hit a roadblock?
It depends on the roadblock, because some roadblocks can be helpful. Sometimes I do have to relax. It caused me to think and stuff. Like, so I started writing down stuff. I don't just use my phone anymore. I physically write down stuff in my book and everything. But I look at everything as a challenge. Boom. Okay, I got this. Let's say the roadblock is, let's use a pandemic for example. Pandemic. When I had my podcast, the pandemic hit. So I had to. We couldn't be face to face. So how I'm gonna do this? Okay, I'm gonna have to do this on Zoom. I gotta learn how to do Zoom. Okay, boom. I gotta learn how to get the Zoom audio to convert it to audio that I can put on the podcast. Okay, I gotta learn how to convert the video file to convert on YouTube. So it's like these things. Those are the type of roadblocks. Like challenge, because it let me know if this roadblock hit and I quit, then it just wasn't for me. And I feel like if I'm this far, then it's for me.
And when you see someone quit, like, what does that do to you? Like, do you encourage them, or do you just say, oh, that's not for them?
Alright, so I'll say it in two ways. If I'm on the inside, as in they're my partner, and if I'm on the outside. First, I gotta know why you're quitting. People quit for other reasons. Like I said, I quit my podcast because I'm going to the next level. If I want to, I can just fire up the mic and just go back into it. It's not like I can't. So if that's in that sense, I wouldn't say that's not a bad reason to quit. That's like, okay, you're going to the next level. It's like you quit a job because you got a new one. Mm-hmm. If you quit because you feel like, oh man, nobody is seeing me, nobody this and that, you shouldn't do that. I always tell this story. The Breakfast Club was about to be canceled their first year. It was the Ray J rant that made them stay on air. When he went on that rant, they went viral and this and that. That's what caused the Breakfast Club to be still running. Here we are 10, 11 years later. Like, so that's what I'm saying. You just need that one chance. So just keep going. Like, you never know. That chance might be right around the corner. And sometimes you might quit it. Then the next day, that chance would have been there, but you already left. So I say just keep going. But if you pray on it, really think about it. If you want to give it up, because sometimes you might have to let things go. And I'm learning that too. I'm not just saying it just to say it. You got to know, like, all right, sometimes you got to sacrifice something. If that sacrifice will help you, it's okay. But you just quitting because, like, oh, it's too much for me, this and that, then you wasn't ready for it.
And so you party, you do all this, you're everywhere. Like, how do you know when it's time to sacrifice for the good of what you need to be doing?
My health first and foremost. Definitely got to make sure I have the energy to do all this stuff. There have been times I was supposed to be at places and I say, you know what, I'm not going to go. It's like I said, my body kind of tell me it's like a sense, like a spidey sense. Like it'll tell me like, yo, all right, you don't need to go this and that. And like I said, I turn on my L's and W's. So let's say I was supposed to go to an event and I didn't go, and then a person who could have elevated my life was there. Oh man, damn, I didn't go. All right, cool, whatever. I'm sure I'll run into that person later, or I'll meet somebody else who will elevate it. So you really gotta like do like pros and cons. I do that with everything, the pro and the con.
And so we grew up and went to the same school. Yeah, so I actually had somebody tell me this. He said, because of where we're from, it's the reason why we can only do something so small. What would you say to that person?
I would have to ask them to elaborate more, like doing so small. So I'm gonna kind of play around with that. And when we were growing up in Roseville, we didn't have much. Our school didn't provide any classes that will help a lot of people in certain areas. Such as, I remember when I was a senior, that's when they first had a graphic design class. They didn't have that before, and I didn't even have the class. So it's like, if I wanted to go in that field, it's like, dang, I can't even take that class or anything like that. So I do see they got more stuff. They redid the building and everything. They got more stuff like that. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of resources, and we are or were slept on. Depending on who you ask, and because even somebody in Roosevelt asked me, back in the days, like, yo, do you play basketball? I was like, nah. He was like, do you rap? I said, nah. He said, yo, if you want to get out the hood, you got to do one or the other. I don't do one or the other, and I'm out the hood, like, you know what I mean? So, because that's all we knew was like, okay, you going to graduate, but then you don't rap or you don't play ball, then what are you going to do? So, yeah, we didn't have much resources, according to this person. I will agree with that, but I would want them to still elaborate a little more.
And how do you see this going for you? Like, what does the dream look like from your eyes?
The dream is me to move any and every way I can with no problem. The dream for me is that all me and my peoples get that W. We all winning. There's no loss. Well, you're going to take losses here and there, but we winning. Like, we're taking care of ourselves, our families. We living this dream, the champagne life. Like, I'm throwing parties in the middle of Bora Bora on a yacht, and all my peoples is there with me. That's where the dream is taking me. It's just I'm living a comfortable life. I'm living a life that I don't need a vacay from.
And for the person who lives a life full of excuses, how have you managed to overcome the excuses that maybe be a norm to say?
I don't like people like that because I'm a type of person. I'm going to only complain about something once, and I had to learn that because back in the days I would complain all the time. You're only going to complain one time. You come to me and complain, all right, cool. I hear you out. I'm listening to you. Great. We got to come up with a solution. Once we come to a solution, that's the new plan. Execute it. Boom. That excuse was their roadblock. Boom. I helped. I got you. Boom. New detour. Boom. No more excuses. You better not come to me with that same excuse, or even because like I said, you're always going to take an L at some point. Like I say this all the time. You might lose a game. You might lose a game during the regular season, but still win the championship. So you never know. Like, all right, cool. You taking this L right here, but don't dwell on it. Don't. Oh my God, life is over. This and nah. You gotta keep going, man. Like I said, I've been on rock bottom. I've been that guy that have complained this and that, but then I got like, yo, keep going, yo. I'm just keep going, and that's how I accomplished the things that I did.
And what's the importance of having a plan and then, secondly, executing the plan?
Well, for me, planning stuff is fun. That's what makes me a great content creator. Having that plan, staying on track. Because the plan came from somewhere. You thought about it from somewhere. Like I said, I find content in anything I do. So, boom, I can't wait. I write it down. I do my research and everything. Boom. Now it's time to execute it. Like I said, doing the research. Depending on what it is, I'll try to find people who have similar interest in it. Like, yo, how you feel about this? How you feel about that? Would you like to collaborate on it? Or if I gotta do it by myself, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna execute it. I'm really big on YouTube. Is my number one favorite website, favorite app, whatever. Always on YouTube, I'm always searching stuff up. So that's my gym to people. If you want to start something, you want to learn, or just need help on something, YouTube it. Like, that's what it do. That's how I personally execute it.
And you also have a T-shirt. Like, what was the meaning behind that symbol that you had?
All right, so yeah.
You got it on you?
It's on the joint. It's called Yi Xiao. It's Yin Sheep Yang Wolf. It's the first two letters of each of those words, Yin Sheep Yang Wolf. It basically, because I'm big on yin yang. I'm all about balance. Where there's light, there's dark, and vice versa. The black sheep represents the outcast, like, the person who, get doubted or shunned. I've always been a black sheep, whether it's in my family and society and everything, but you gotta overcome that. And the white wolf represents valor, courage. Gotta keep going. That's why I say, like, I can't think of a time where I didn't have the confidence. Like, I always had it. Like, like, I don't, like, even if I say I'm afraid of something, I still got the confidence. And you could be afraid of something and have confidence. It's just, fear is in life. But yeah, that's where the concept comes. I don't know if they can see it, but but I'll put the shirt. The shirts were like members only kind of thing. So anybody you see wear that, they like members only, supporters and all that stuff. I'm definitely gonna do a second wave. Still gonna be members only. I got that idea from the Rockefeller chain. They only hand it to certain people. So that's how it is. Like, when you wear that shirt, people who have that shirt, they are they represent Yishao. Like they're not part of the team, but they just represent it. They are different. They have that balance of that courage, but they're in their field or whatever lane they're in. They separate themselves. You can't say that they are similar to this person or they're similar to that person. So that's what I mean.
And what's a lesson that you may have learned from your parents growing up?
Good question. My father, may he rest in peace. We didn't have the ideal father-son bond, but I do appreciate him for teaching me to be book and street smart. I do wish he was allowed that he could see, like, I'm always reading books now, like a lot of books. He actually put me on to like a lot of stuff and learning black culture. So I give him credit on that. And always doing things by the beat of your own drum. That's one of the things that he was really known for. He did what he wanted to do, like, so that's what I get from him. My mother is the reason why I'm very humble. My mother is one of the reasons why I am a hard worker. I have work ethics. I've seen my mother, literally get up 3 a.m. to get to work, like taking multiple buses and then getting home late, cooking, cleaning, and all that stuff. Like, I watched this woman. She is the epitome of a black woman. So I definitely give her credit. She definitely instilled those work ethics and being humble. So those are the lessons I learned from my parents.
Oh man! And right before Mother's Day, he kind of said that.
Yeah.
But because I lived in that same situation. Dad died when I was 7, and I got to see my mom do stuff while tired. What's the importance of doing it even though you may be tired today?
It got to get done, man. Like I said, success is happiness. I want to be happy, so I got to get it done. I got to get that success. And since you brought up the moms and stuff, gotta make sure my mother is straight. Like, even like I said, I'm on the yacht, champagne life, all that, this and that. Mom's still good. She ain't gonna come on the yacht with me. She not about that life.
Yeah.
But she gonna be good. My mom's always good. Like, I always make sure she good. So that's definitely.
Okay, and you speak about reading a lot of books. What's a book that really stands out in the lesson that it taught you?
Ooh, great question. Okay. Definitely emotional intelligence. Before I read that book, I didn't even know what that was. But your emotional intelligence definitely help you. It help you come up with great decisions. And because a lot of businessmen, their emotional intelligence is high. So prior to that book, I used to do the IQ test, but then when I started doing the EQ test, which is emotional intelligence, it's like, okay, how do you adapt in this situation? How do you adapt in that? And I had I had an anger problem back in the days. Those who know me can agree. And I'm man enough to admit that. So that book definitely helped me. Like, yo, you got to react in this way, that way, especially if you're in business. Like, Dame Dash is one of the greatest influences to me. A lot of people don't want to do business with him because of how he act, but he make great points. So I want to be that balance. Like, I don't want to go in there storming, yelling, screaming, but I still want to make the same points directly like him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that book definitely helped me. Other books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Ego is the Enemy, Leaders Eat Last. Just a couple off the top.
And is there a movie that stands out with a lesson for you?
In regards to business,
life, whatever you want.
My father definitely put me onto the mom movies. Definitely was big on that. The Godfather is definitely a life lesson movie. Godfather 1 and 2. You definitely got to build a strong team. You got to make sure to get rid of anybody that's disturbing that. Goodfellas, definitely. In regard, like, I know. Well, I don't want. Everybody saw Goodfellas by now, so I ain't gonna say spoiler, but whatever. But at the end, Henry had to do what he had to do, but I don't agree with the way he went about it. But like, just the beginning of that movie and stuff like that, just having your back, not saying anything, like never snitching on your friends and all that crap. That's what all the mom movies just sell. But the greatest one of all, Carlito's Way. Again, spoiler if you haven't seen it, but the end of the movie, he got killed by a person that he dissed early in the movie, and nobody expected that. And that let me know, like, you. That's why I always say I don't put nobody down, because I might run into them later, and I'm not trying to turn into like a death thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like in general, like they might take your place, and then they not gonna have no sympathy for you because when they was coming up and they was trying to talk to you, whatever, you dissed them. So the people you diss now might excel later, and you might need them, and they gonna remember. Like I'll say that with me, I always remember who's gave me a no. I always remember. Like, and I'm not talking about like a subtle no. I'm talking about like a no, like they could have helped but they didn't want to, or a hell no. I remember that, and I wish them well or whatever. But I remember when I needed you, or even just I wanted you. You gave me that no. That fueled me to go even more.
And let us know where we could find your docu-series, where we could connect with you, where we could find everything that you got coming out soon, and anything else you want to add to that.
So, like I said, my Instagram, George Cruz, the O is a 0, Crews, no relation to Terry Crews. The docuseries I will definitely be uploading them on YouTube. I'm definitely going to start uploading content on my YouTube page as well. The docuseries that I did with an old homie of mine, Whip being the Black Dominatrix, Salute to Sun, she was the subject. You can YouTube search that. I am Yeshua Productions. I'm working on that. Like I said, YSHYAWO. That's pulling up sooner than later. Definitely, if you want to collab with me, hit me up. I hit my DMs, whatever. But right now, YouTube, it's going to be submitted into documentary film festivals and all that stuff. So, like I said, you just follow me on Instagram and you'll see it all.
And there we go. My guy, George Cruz, formerly known as the Idiosyncratic Guy, but content creator and all of the above. I appreciate you for being on my show, man. I wake up in the morning, I punch fear in the face. I gotta get to my back and egg and dreams.